Did we watch it or did we suffer through it?
Both.
We experienced it, and I don't remember what it was called.
Let me go get
I
more
don't
water.
remember either.
IRANDAM
Why would you give it to Ben?
ULAGAM.
Because he
IRANDAM
would
ULAGAM.
butcher it either way.
I did it.
Okay, there you go. IRANDAM ULAGAM, 2013. It's a Tamil film from India. And I was really looking forward to this one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It really is.
Ooh.
So the director on this thing is a guy named K. Selvaragavan. Probably mispronouncing his name, I apologize, but he directed this movie that we did a reaction for a fight scene from. And it was called Yuratil Oruvan.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's the one where the dude has the giant, like, boulder on a chain.
Oh!
Right?
Was I there for that?
I don't know if you were.
I don't think I was.
But
you
it's
were.
the one
I
where...
remember that now.
It's the one where he goes into a vision where he sees everybody as skeletons, and then one of the skeletons pees on his face.
Yes.
It's one
I
of the
remember
most
that.
insane, delightful things I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, I need to see something by this guy.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Now, there
Oh,
are
boy.
elements in this film which are almost as good as that.
Yes.
Elements.
Yeah. Almost.
Glimpses
Yeah.
of what could have been.
Yeah, and, you know, I was really trying to give this movie a chance.
We tried.
We tried.
Oh boy.
We gave up.
Mm-hmm.
And then the movie continued.
Yeah. We
And then we
gave
just
up, and
complained.
then a half an hour later, we hit the halfway point.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is... So it's not one of my favorite films.
Yeah. I'm very confused. Time does weird things during this movie, because the first half hour kind of goes by in the blink of an eye.
Seriously.
But then things start happening and then stop happening, and then you experience the not. We'll get into it. How does this movie start?
A guy in water.
Oh yeah, the
Oh, right.
voiceover of here's the tale of...
Two different worlds.
Yeah, two worlds and love. What is love?
Yeah, and he's like smiling as he drowns or whatever. And so, which world do we go to first?
Oil Slick World.
Oil Slick World? Yes. So the alternate world.
Okay.
Space world.
So
Space
we
world.
get the entire backstory of this planet with drawings.
Yes.
Oh,
Basically,
gosh.
this is a world where love doesn't exist.
So flowers also don't exist.
Right.
And women are treated horribly.
Women mean nothing to men except for pleasure.
And godhood.
But there's the like it's like their god is a woman, so men want to kill her.
Well, no, specifically, there's
Specifically
a there's
this
a dude,
Yeah, there's a dude.
who they say is a demon wants to kidnap her so that she'll be his god.
Yeah.
And then he'll rule the world.
Yeah.
This world that apparently, according to drawings and the movie, is 2 towns.
Yes.
It's not even a county, but I guess it's their world.
Yeah, and the evil guy wants to turn the 2 towns into 1 town.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
So that he can rule the world.
Okay.
And his idea of combining the towns is literally just putting one town
Inside
in
the
the
other,
center
yeah.
of the other, which is how towns work, I guess.
Oh yeah.
How is he gonna move his town?
Let's just take the bikini bottom and push it somewhere else.
God damn it.
For Christ's sake, dude.
That's my word.
So, well, he will have a god at that point.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It makes things a little bit easier.
It
does-
seems like she doesn't
She
do much
doesn't
for
do
it.
anything.
Well, she does
Things.
really weird
Crazy
things.
shit.
Does she?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
She does
Things happen because of her, I guess, but also when things need to be done, she just
But
Smiles.
stands there.
I think that's because she doesn't give that much of a shit.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Otherwise, the women in her world would be treated better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh, that's a good
because
point.
she
That's a
just
good
doesn't
point.
care.
Yep.
Yeah, things will get better eventually.
Or just,
Flowers will
fuck it.
bloom, yeah.
Anyway, so we are introduced to our first character of the film,
the space wolf.
Yes.
So there's this woman walking along with a basket full of mushrooms, and a wolf CGI monster attacks her. So she whoops the fucking shit out of it.
Yeah,
Yes,
this
it
thing's
does.
fucking ass.
Now, she is played by Anushka Shetty, who was in Bahubali.
Oh.
She was in Singham.
Oh.
Her characters here are named Ramya and Varna.
I like her.
Yeah.
What about the third one?
We don't get a name.
I don't
for
think they ever named her.
Oh
We're
my
jumping
gosh.
ahead, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I know. Anyway, so after she easily defeats this giant wolf monster,
By backflipping it, by backflipping and kicking it in the face.
yeah, among other things. So after she does that, some random dude just steals her mushrooms, and she doesn't do anything
Four of
about
them
it.
Steal
Well,
it.
she tries to get away from them, and 4 dudes
Sort of
steal the basket
half-assed,
of
but
mushrooms. Yeah.
dude, it's like
He just fucked up a space wolf.
Yeah.
What the fuck are
Yeah.
these guys gonna do?
seriously, what the fuck?
Why the hell did I write fake hero scum? I knew
Because
this was
now
gonna confuse me.
we go to the other world, which is our world. And okay, so in this world, Anushka Shetty is a doctor,
Yes.
and she's
I
talking
remember.
to her friend about how she wants to marry this random dude she's never met. See, her family wants to set her up with somebody and get her married, but she's like, there's this dude who I want to marry, so I'm going to ask him to marry me, even though I don't know him, because I've been stalking him for 2 years.
Uh-huh.
I want to
Watching-
get his backstory.
Watching him bring in patients to the hospital.
Yeah, every time there's a disaster, he's
There
bringing
helping.
he's there helping. It's like, dude, that's not suspicious to you.
Which is why, Shay, you wrote Fake Hero Scum.
Yeah, yeah.
You also wrote it so that you would have this exact moment where you went, "Why
I
did
knew I
write-"
was gonna forget.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no way I was gonna remember that
Yeah.
after this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Oh no. Michael Wiseau.
Back on Space World, the space version of Fake Hero Asshole is, oh boy, so he's in this wig, right?
Yeah.
Which makes him look kind of like Tommy Wiseau,
Yes.
and kind of like Michael Jackson, and kind of like the Disney version of Tarzan.
Yep.
Alright, now, hang on. I want you guys to pause this.
But
Go Google image all 3 of those things. Put them on your screen at once. Stare at them. And try to combine them in your mind.
and
It's not nearly terrifying enough.
you also need Marty Feldman's eyes.
Yeah, that
Now-
too.
Now, it sounds like we're just being mean about this, and for all I know, some of you watching might be fans of this actor. This is not a flattering anything for this actor.
No.
Because there's other shots where he has other things, like glasses and facial hair and stuff like that.
And he looks
hair,
okay.
Yeah,
And
that's
hair
pretty
that
good.
isn't this bad wig.
Yeah.
And he's an okay looking dude.
You get rid of it? No.
Yeah, you get rid
No.
of all of that and add a really bad wig, and he looks like a cave painting.
Uh-huh.
I call him Discount Caveman Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came up some too. Yeah.
Anyway, what the hell is he doing? I don't remember.
He's
Being dumb.
okay.
He's stalking
Varna.
Varna.
Yeah, because okay, so she tries to go home after her mushrooms have been stolen, but her adopted family won't let her in, and they're like, "You orphan," like Jesus.
I did say that, didn't
Yeah,
I?
they
Yes.
And
Uh.
so what our dude does without being seen is throw her some food and blankets.
It was like 2 eggplants and a blanket.
Yeah,
Sounds like a good night.
Oh god.
Oh my
Oh God.
for fuck's sake, dude. So
Jesus.
you said something about something?
Me?
Another scene.
Oh, I was
You-
like,
you mentioned
what
the
I just
scenes
said
that
made
come
everyone
in.
want to die, so...
And there's the cafeteria. scene.
yeah, the cafeteria.
Okay, straight to the cafeteria?
Yeah, where her friend is just grading every part of the dude while he's sitting there,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
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 and then tells everyone else in there to fuck off.
Yeah, it's like something about his butt and shit like that. So
He has a nice butt and broad shoulders and bad hair and a big
But he
forehead.
skips leg day.
Yeah. So anyway, our heroine has to go over and sit next to him and try to start a conversation, which she does very badly.
Very.
And he's kind of being a dick.
She, like, puts her scarf on his shoulder.
She smudges her eye makeup.
So he takes the scarf, just wipes the table with it, and throws it.
Uh-huh.
That's just a dick move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, it just appeared on his shoulder out of nowhere.
He also
him.
seems to maybe have a hearing problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very possibly, because she keeps, like, saying something, and he'll look the other direction. Like, where's that coming from?
Like, it's like he's blind and partially deaf and has never interacted with a human being
So
before.
finally she works up the courage to say, I've been watching you for 2 years, and I like it. And he's like, thanks. And goes,
Yeah.
So she's like, alright, fuck this, I quit, I can't do it.
yeah.
So
So
she
her-
walks over to her friend, and her friend's like, hey, you, come here. Are you gonna marry her?
He's
He's
like, I can't for family reasons.
yeah, sorry, no, bye.
So that worked.
And now he starts stalking her.
Yes.
Well, first there's a musical number where he realizes he's in love with her. Then he starts stalking her.
Oh, right, the really dark-ass love song.
Oh, yeah.
That's like love and death are the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
God, there's some fucked up lines, I can't remember them.
Yeah.
Isn't it in the, like,
Mall.
Mall.
thing of this? Yeah, he's like trying to hide behind a phone box.
Yeah.
Just right
A
there.
Samsung.
Yeah, she's like 2 inches from him. It's terrible.
It's really terrible.
Sorry,
Anyway,
Ben has a note open on his phone right now that just says "fuck metal jacked."
You weren't
Oh,
there for that.
God.
That was
I just looked over.
2
and that's
weeks
all I
ago.
saw.
Yep.
You don't really want to know, honestly.
It's
Yeah.
not important. So,
Anyway, so my next note is mushroom nut kick.
oh yeah, so
Oh,
she's
yeah.
out there
We're back in space.
picking mushrooms, and
Barnaby is.
so space
Dudes.
dude,
Dude, yeah.
the new Wiseau is being encouraged by his friend to run up and hug her.
I never caught his name, so I've been calling him Buffalo.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Because that's what she calls him.
Yeah.
Alright, so Buffalo's
And
creeping.
he's not encouraging him to hug her exactly.
Well, to start with, because that's what he's practicing over and over again before he
True.
reaches her. And so when he gets close, she just immediately turns around and kicks him right in the fucking everything down there.
And he just falls straight the fuck over.
Yeah.
Yep.
So all of his
He does
friends are
not
like,
get back up in this scene.
No,
he
he's not
lives
moving.
there now.
Yeah. So yeah, his friends come up to try to kick her ass for beating up their friend, but she just takes
Elbow
him.
City.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Has Ben put it, dropping bows on him.
Yeah.
She's pretty awesome.
So then they come back with another friend or two to kick her ass.
From the army.
And she beats them up too. And at the end of this, we realize that Wiseau is still on the ground.
Yep.
He has not moved. I really wish that killed him.
Yeah. Oh god! And then later, him and his friends attack her with a net, and then put him in the net with her, apparently to sexually assault her. But she just beats the shit out of him.
And
'cause-
calls him, well, she says, and I quote, "You wretched guy."
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this erases any possibility of sympathy we could have had for this character.
Yeah, fuck him.
Back on Earth,
Back on Earth, so
the doctor's engaged.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, God, yeah.
yeah.
Family sets her up with a dude.
Right.
Right, this is right around the time that the guy she liked is like, hey, I actually do want to marry you. And she's like, too late, I'm engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And so he stalks her for a little bit, but then disappears.
Mm-hmm.
And so she tracks him down to his house, and he pretends... No, he's been hallucinating that every woman he sees is her.
Not even every woman. Every person he sees.
Well, except for his dad, because that'd be awkward.
yeah.
So when he sees her, he assumes it's somebody else, and she's like, "Are you out of your goddamn mind?" So he splashes some water on his dad's asshole.
Yes.
His dad's paralyzed.
Yes.
Right.
We didn't know that when we saw him doing that.
Yeah. They're just laughing and asshole splashing. So
Like Please kill me right now.
Well, his would-be girlfriend is watching this, and so she stays for dinner, right?
Yeah,
Right,
and
'cause
her
the
friend
dad
who
asks
drove
her
her
to.
there shows up, and they feed her too.
Yeah,
Because she's been outside this whole time.
Well, she got to miss the worst thing, so...
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
but anyway, now that he acknowledges her existence, she can go back to being engaged, and he can go back to stalking her again.
Yeah.
See, it's like tag. They go back and forth stalking.
Stock tag.
I really don't like this movie very much.
No, this movie blows.
So, does anything else happen?
She goes to.
We get the
a new
song
place.
during dinner.
Oh, yeah.
And then in Space World, the army's recruiting.
Oh, right, and they don't want Tommy Wiseau because he's lame, and they don't want his would-be girlfriend because
she's a
she's
woman.
female, and they hate females.
Well, Buffalo is the general's son,
Yes,
but
He
the general
sucks.
thinks he's a failure.
and he is.
He is. Fuck that guy.
So he's watching her practice swordsmanship,
Yeah.
and
He tries to say hi, so she throws a sword at him and almost
yeah,
kills him.
yeah,
And then he says, "Train me," and she fucks off.
Well, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
That guy's a prick.
Should have just killed him right there.
yeah.
And this is when I completely start to lose the movie.
This is back on Earth. Guess his name is what? Mondu?
It doesn't matter.
Scumbag, I believe.
Yeah, so is this when she goes to some sort of training camp or something?
Yeah,
he
she's
follows
on
her?
a bus and he
Yeah.
shows up in the middle of the road.
Yeah, and starts talking to her professor. Now her professor is played by Jaya Bhatturi, who was in one of the greatest Indian films of all time, Sholay, possibly the greatest Indian film of all time.
Really?
Yeah, she was Amitabh Bachchan's romantic interest.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice that she's still getting work.
Yeah, too bad it's not very good work.
Okay, point.
Because, okay, he follows, he pretends that his grandfather is dying.
Yes.
So they let him on the bus.
Yeah, and then he just sort of hangs out hitting on her.
Oh my god, he just stares at her from
Yeah.
4 inches away.
So when he gets caught by the professor, he instead starts hitting on the professor,
Yes.
Uh-huh.
aggressively.
Is this when that really weird song shows up?
It might.
With the weird ass
Isn't there
video?
a part where he, creeps into their bedroom and, tries to...
Cuddle with both of them? Yes.
Yes. They both scream and run away.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy is awful.
By the way, we're more than an hour in at this point.
Yeah. And so this is around the time where
We all die.
Well,
Yeah.
where basically we lose all capacity for feeling sympathy for this version of this character.
Yeah, because who the
both of
fuck
them.
does that?
Yeah.
Well, he does.
Everything he's been doing.
He seems to win over every other girl in camp, though.
By
Yeah.
being a complete piece of shit.
Yep.
And,
So this is when her fiance shows up to dump her.
Oh yeah, and then immediately just him and everyone else just deconstruct the hut that she's in and celebrate.
Him being Tommy Wiseau, not the
Yeah,
right.
sorry.
not
sorry.
the future husband.
I don't know fucking anything. I hate this.
So now they're in love?
I don't know.
Not
but
really. She's pretending not to care about him, and then she cares about him, and then she doesn't, and it's like,
Oh, and he has the fake tattoo for some reason.
So she tries to force him to get a real tattoo, but he's too much of a wimp.
And I think in one of the songs at some point he pretty much calls her semen. He says
does.
she's
The liquid of his dreams.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
the
he-
moisture of
Right.
his dreams.
Morning
moisture
dream.
of his
Yeah,
morning
moisture of his
something.
morning dreams, yeah. Boy howdy. Yeah, so eventually they do fall in love though, right?
yeah.
And they hang out in a field all night.
Not yet.
Not quite yet.
What?
The lion.
Yeah, we gotta get to
Oh,
the
okay,
part
so
where
back in space.
Lorna refuses to not join the army, so she barges in on the trashy Majesty and
Trash.
says, "Let me join the army," and then she gets kidnapped by the army.
Oh yeah, basically to be his concubine by force.
Right.
You know, and so
Tarzan
Buffalo.
shows up.
yeah, Tarzan Buffalo Tommy Wiseau shows up and it's like, I really don't want you to.
Do that?
Yeah, so
Because I want to do that.
the king's like, okay, go kill the lion and bring me his skin.
Dripping with
With
blood.
blood.
Yeah. So he goes to do that, and the lion is
Well, he
well,
needs the
first-
blessing first.
he gets a blessing from God, and then he goes to fight the lion, which turns out to be a fucking manticore.
This movie
Yes.
is not making us sound any more
Yeah.
sane or sober than the last
I
one.
was sitting here, I'm like, what? I watched this movie, I joined, I'm like, this sounds wrong.
Yeah. And
What
some
have
of
we done?
you have probably seen the movie, and you're still like, wait, oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, that's right. That happened.
So he's
Yeah.
fighting the Manticore.
Yeah. And it's like
Poorly?
finally entertaining again,
It's
because the
so
Manticore is
weird.
really silly. It's like a monster from a Sci-Fi Channel movie from 20 years ago. It's great.
It's like slimy looking.
It has this really goofy face on it.
A human face.
Dreadlocks.
Yeah. At one point during dinner after we watched this movie, my sister there was saying, I felt bad for the Manticore, and I just said, it looked like an asshole, and it does. It looks like a complete asshole.
Well, it could look like an incomplete asshole.
That's possible. So the dude, he has this shitty wobbly sword, and it immediately
It's called a
loses
Kree, I
that.
believe.
So he
Uses a knife.
He uses a knife, and he like cuts it open along the side.
Cuts
like,
all of its hamstrings.
Yeah, really
Ah.
messes it up.
Gets under it, taint stabs it.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
falls on him, so he cuts his way up through it,
Yep.
and then starts skinning it. And then he's there with the king, being like, "Hey, there's your skin."
Yeah.
And the king's like, "Cool, okay, you can have the woman."
As your wife. She's like, no!
I just remember
So
what
they're at their
face
wedding.
wrestling means.
Oh, God.
So yeah, the wedding, she like grabs a knife, tries to kill the king. When that doesn't work, tries to kill herself. And the movie lets us assume that she did
Yeah.
Yep.
And we go back to Earth.
Earth.
Yep.
So
Earth.
So now the other versions of these people are in love, and they hang out in a field all night.
And they have this really, really long and horribly awkward and just horrible sequence of them almost hugging, but then almost running away from each other, and then
then
almost
kind of
hugging,
wrestling and
kind
almost
of wrestling with
kissing
their
and-
faces.
So then the girl
And-
gets up and runs away.
Well,
Oh my
in
God.
the middle
God.
of this, we get a reaction of God, who is just a blonde woman who's this is her expression. And then we go back to the face wrestling, and then they're laying down after that, and he's all like, "All we did was talk. I'm bored." And she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna run away," and dies.
She drops dead.
And she's dead.
She's running. She like
Turns and
trips and just
Dead.
and like this is all at a distance, right? So
So he's like, well,
I immediately like half joking say, "And she's dead," and she doesn't get back up.
She is dead.
Oh.
And I start losing my shit.
So like 4 seconds before that happened, like as soon as she started running, I was like, "Bear trap," and she hits the ground, and I was like, "There's no way. There's no way."
So yeah, he walks over to her, and she landed head first on the
On a
road
rock.
and split her fucking head open, and just blood everywhere.
We have
swear-
never laughed this hard
Right?
as ever.
I must have been laughing for a solid 10 minutes after this scene.
I was actually crying. I was laughing so hard.
Oh, my God.
I know this makes me sound like a bad person, and I am. Don't get me wrong about this. But this mishandles the intended emotions of this scene so badly.
It's so entertaining. She just
The-
dies.
What is meant to be like shocking like impact amounts to amazing comic timing
Yeah.
It's perfect comedic timing.
because they
They
just
could not have done it better on purpose. They couldn't have.
it's like this really sloppy throwing away a character with like forced tragedy in such a goofy way. It's so
After an
great.
hour and a half of shared stalking, it just
Well, it's,
And she's dead.
it's just so lame. Like there's not even a sound. It just
yeah, she just goes down.
she's dead.
The The last line she says is like, "I love you. Come catch me." Gone. Done. Over.
What is my next note? My dad, that dog.
Yeah,
Oh my
because
God.
my next note is he has to follow the dog to his dad on a Vespa.
right.
Okay, so
yeah.
let's hit the funeral first. So she has a funeral, and I'm
funeral?
still laughing.
I don't
And
remember
And
the
the
funeral. I
music-
was laughing.
Yeah,
through
you
it.
you both laughed right through it.
Yeah,
I don't
the music
remember.
does not
could
fit,
not stop.
and it's just a tight shot of his face,
Oh, right.
unchanging as this funeral happens. But the music is like peppy, which is why we
The
didn't
music
stop
The
laughing.
music in this film is usually just slightly wrong.
Slightly?
Sometimes,
No, it's usually very wrong.
It's usually
Yes.
it's usually slightly wrong. It's sometimes very wrong.
Yes.
And towards the end, it gets fucking surreal.
Yes.
And this is the happiest funeral you've ever listened to.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And the only reason I actually remember this part is because it's just him sitting there, and I was like, does he just sit there until he dies? Because that'd be great.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But he
He sits
does.
there for a fucking while.
He does like avoid anyone trying to get him to stand up and fucking leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, eventually a dog shows up and it's like, "Hey, come over here, dude. I'm a dog. Come over here. It's
Yeah.
important." So he
Come on,
does.
come on, come on, dog,
And
dog,
the
dog.
dog is like, look at the blood of your dead girlfriend.
Bye.
And then his dad shows up on a bike.
Vespa.
His dad's paralyzed.
Yeah, but not anymore. It's like, "Hey, are you cured?" And his dad's like, "Yes, I am."
And rides off on or into,
Vespa?
No,
into a portal pretty much.
He
Yeah.
says,
Yeah.
"Love is the way."
Yeah, if you like believe hard enough, you'll be able to see her again, and then he
Oh,
rides
God.
into a portal to this other.
Oh my
Yeah, he
God.
says like you have to become her. You think about her so
Oh
much.
yeah.
And then yeah, he fucks off into space.
I hate
so-
when my dad
and
does
then-
that.
Immediately, he gets a call on his phone,
From his uncle.
and it's like, "Your dad's dead."
Yeah, I've been trying to call you for 2 days. So, he's dead. He was asking, to see you one last time before he passed, but, I
But
guess
fuck
that
you.
didn't happen. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. Say hi to your wife for me.
So now we're back in space with drunk
Well-
sword guy.
If you look at the bloodstain, it's now a flower.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then that's when we get
Oh,
the
intermission.
the intermission.
Fuck.
And I think I
Died.
ascended
Mm.
at this point because I realized that we had another hour and 15 minutes to go, and I didn't want it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at this point we'd already been watching the movie for 9 minutes and also 14 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie breaks time.
A little bit. So yeah,
I'm used to
now
it.
now the Tommy Wiseau version of this character
Buffalo.
in space is drunk
At a
and
really weird looking bar
Yeah.
setting, kind of almost.
okay, I'll take your word for it.
It's all
He's
Isn't
like
he
drunk
in a-
all the time.
Isn't he in a field, like, goading the other soldiers?
Yeah, he's trying to
beat
get the
up?
soldiers to kill him
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, so they tell him, "Fuck you, go up that hill,"
And he does.
Yeah.
because it's God's hill.
Yep.
Yeah.
No other man has climbed that hill before. Also, no other man has killed a manticore before, but
Yeah.
He literally walks up the hill, though. It's not
Yeah.
like
Well,
a
I-
challenging hill. It's a hill.
I don't think it's like nobody goes up the hill because it's a really tough hill to climb. I think it's because it is literally like God's hill, and God said, "Don't climb the fucking hill."
Yep.
It's like the tree of knowledge as a hill.
Mm-hmm.
Guess.
only Buffalo's a douchebag.
Yes.
And drunk.
And I think he really wants to die.
Mm-hmm.
We also
Want
really
to
want
die.
him to die.
Yeah.
There was a scene where he tried to stab himself, and the
Yeah.
blade just bounced off.
Yeah, they
His
never
shitty
explained
sword.
that one.
because his
There's a
sword is
point
shitty.
later
No,
on
they
where they're
mention
like,
that.
"Do you
His sword
have
fucks people
thick
up,
skin?"
though.
And
Only
he's like,
jinx.
"We'll talk about it later." They don't.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, around this time, the dude, like, there's some shit going on. So a car starts. There's an earthquake.
Right.
A car starts rolling by itself, opens its door as if to say, "Hey, get in the car." So
Oh
he
my
gets in the
God.
car.
Get in, loser.
Yeah, basically.
Then the car drives him
Up a mountain.
places.
Yeah.
Because, well, no, he drives the car, but
Yeah.
pretty much God's like, "Oh, there's a fork in the road. Let me just cut down this tree with lightning, so you go the right way. Super, you're at top of the hill now."
Yeah. So he passes out at some point, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he's
yeah.
hanging, he's dangling out the side of this
About
car.
to drive off a cliff and die.
Yeah.
which we're like,
And
do
the
it, let it
hill-
happen.
Yeah, the hills like in the two worlds align, and Caveman Wizzo grabs him from the car and pulls him into this world, and now he's into the second world. I mean, and now he's in the second world.
Yeah. So
And there's now two of the same actor in one world.
yeah. So yeah, Space Wisso now has the other guy, who I started calling Mark, because I think it was Shay who mentioned how much like the room,
I did.
Tom mentioned, because there will be. We'll get to it. Okay, so
Tommy was so playing both.
yeah.
Yep.
So they drag him to the things happen.
Is this when we
Buffalo
find out?
brings cow to mother. Because Varna starts calling the other guy cow.
That's when we find out Varna isn't dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, not.
Oh, right. And there's
Right.
some kind of a fight,
Wait,
which
Mother-
is better than this movie.
Mother drags, I guess, Cow
Yes.
outside and is like, the very first flower is going to bloom and I want to see that. And then, like, immediately gets kidnapped. Oh, no, that's when he's like, that dog, my dad. There's two of everything here. There's the people exist in whatever. And parallel universe. I guess that means that there's a version of my girlfriend, wife, stalker
Right,
here.
because there's a version of him,
Yeah.
and so. But
and then mother, like, about immediately afterwards, just gets picked up
well, yeah,
by the
because
bad guys.
because the bad guys had people in the city waiting for Mother to show up in public.
Right.
So he lights yellow
yellow-
smoke,
Yeah.
and so the evil army comes into the city,
They just pick her up.
They
pick
just
her up, and walk off with her.
And she just
She
looks...
does nothing
Yeah.
about this.
They're like firemen carry her out.
Not
no, they
even.
bridal carry her.
Yeah, that's it.
So
They get all fucked up by Buffalo, and then Varna shows up.
yeah, Wiseau and Varna kick everybody's ass, and this is actually cool. It's not like a show of martial arts skill,
It's not bad, though.
but it's fun and it's violent.
And Tom said swippin' whippins.
Right. This is Swippin' Whippins.
See, he was trying to say switching weapons. He
Swapping
came up
weapons.
swapping
Swapping
weapons.
weapons.
He came up with swipping weapons, and we have been giving him shit about it the entire night.
Yes.
Swippin' Whippins.
Because swipping weapons sounds amazing.
It's
It
the funniest
does.
thing.
So my next note is now Marky was so.
See, as soon as Varna's there, and we realize, I guess she survived. I guess Mother
Mother kept her
saved her
alive, yeah.
from her suicide attempt.
His mother's a dick.
Mother's
Yeah.
a dick.
So now there is a love triangle between the guy from Earth and the Wiseau from space.
Cow,
And-
Buffalo, and Lisa.
And the remaining girlfriend. So
Oh god, this movie.
it's hard to talk about this movie and not sound like a lunatic.
Well, yes.
This movie is a lunatic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Oh fuck.
This is when we get the drunk song.
Oh right, this is when he's in a
Right.
weird bargain.
Well,
Yes.
anyway, so they fail to save Mother, right?
No, they save her
they
this time.
favor.
yes.
They do?
They don't
Yeah.
fail until the execution,
Right.
Oh my god.
Oh, right.
which is later.
So they save Mother, and everybody's like to Varma, why did you even show up? Fuck you, go away. Because they hate women?
I think
Yeah.
she specifically was just banned for trying to take the king's life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So she lives in the woods now, and
Yeah.
then
She's better at
Mark
juggling
Cow.
than Cow, so now he's her slave.
Yes,
brings
that
her
happens.
food, and I guess she starts maybe developing. I don't know. She kind of likes him
Wanna-
more than the
Oh,
other dude.
okay. She starts maybe developing. I'm like,
No.
I was gonna say developing feelings, but that
Yeah.
kind of breaks the fiction that they've developed and then broken and then developed and then broken.
alright.
Love doesn't exist, remember?
Right.
But yeah, he brings her supplies, and so her husband, I guess,
I guess
gets
they're married.
yeah.
gets pissed off about it. I guess they finished up the marriage rites, while she was bleeding out on the ground.
So that's time to do that.
So yeah, Tommy Wiseau is jealous of the guy that is now the mark in this love triangle, who is also himself. And I think threatens his life and some shit.
Yes.
Yeah. And then goes and gets drunk and dances with women and hallucination
It's literally
of his
just
wife.
the room freakout scene. He's just
Yeah.
throwing
Yeah,
tables around
yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
he is.
Oh god, I hate it.
I don't remember what happened.
Trashy Majesty.
Trashy Mag. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
so
He,
he's
like,
up for
lets her live in his house so she doesn't freeze in the forest, and then the next thing we have is an execution scene because he let her
Into town.
live, in his house.
Yeah.
But they're married.
Yeah.
But, he can't
But
have
she's
her-
banished.
yeah, but she's banished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I kind of overrules it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he clearly just walked to his own execution of
Holding
like,
his own sword.
with his own sword of his own volition, and everybody's just like,
Yeah, that's
can you
fine.
please put your
Yeah,
head
just
in the
put your
block?
head there.
And he's like, okay, but before we do this,
Yeah. They keep dropping the sword and he keeps pulling his head out before they can kill him.
Yeah, just-
Nobody's actually holding him down like, an execution.
well, you figure they probably can't at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's invincible, apparently,
Yeah.
So they try, and then as they're about to kill him,
The goddess is kidnapped.
Yeah,
yeah.
and so again, Wiseau tries to stop them. But this time, they get him with the lasso of truth
Yes.
and drag
It's
him
just like
behind
a
it
string
like
of
a
LED
horse.
lights.
Yeah,
After they threw 2 axes in him and he just flicked them off.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Literally, he just swatted them away.
Like a gnat.
They left very shallow cuts.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is another sequence that's kind of entertaining,
Yes.
but it's just the rest of the movie, you know?
Oh god, Hannah, something you said at some point around this and the
Oh,
next
Jesus.
4 hours of this movie was, why does he always have this look on his face that isn't?
Yeah,
And yeah, his face
yeah.
isn't.
And neither is, he has an expression that isn't one.
And also, Tom said, they're turning him into a Jesus.
You did say
After
that
they
because
had
of the
brought him-
torture. Because of the
Yeah.
torture.
When they brought him back to Bandit Town.
Yeah.
Thank
So, oh boy. Are there things to discuss at this point in the film?
Are
No, Cow
Uh,
decides to help Varna
Okay,
rescue
so-
her husband.
So, Surviving Girlfriend has named Guy from Earth
Mandu.
Cow because his name sort of sounds like the word cow.
Yeah. His name is Madhu.
And
So,
she's all like, I don't know if I'm sad or happy that...
My husband is gone and I am free.
yeah. So, yeah, that happened.
So they go to rescue him. And also Mother.
Yes.
Yeah, she's kind of like a side note.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, we never mentioned his horrible run.
Oh,
my
God.
God.
What
So,
runs?
Buffalo.
So when Buffalo, Tommy Wiseau, Tarzan, whatever, runs, he always moves his arms and shoulders a little wrong. His stance is always a little wrong.
He looks like a gorilla that is attempting to run with its arms tied to his sides.
Oh, so the animation from Saints Row 2.
Or sometimes he
God.
swings his arms, but he's swinging them in a
Like
way
too
that's
high.
it's sort of like he's considering doing the airplane thing, which it's not committing to it.
It's so unpleasant and amazingly entertaining.
It
Yeah,
really is,
yeah, every
single
time.
Every time he runs, it's just... You're laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
You can't help it.
So okay,
Snowy musical.
yeah. Before we get to that, I'd just like to mention that this movie, to me at least, feels like a combination of 3 different movies.
Yep.
Those movies are The Room, directed by
Right.
and starring Tommy Wiseau. Criteria 1.
Oh my god,
a
right.
obscure low-budget sci-fi trippy movie. And Vikingdom, obscure low-budget action movie about Vikings. This is all of those films wrapped up together, so if you like this film, seriously, check out those 3. You will love them. Anyway, back to the movie. Another musical number. The musical numbers in this aren't terrible,
They're just
but they
wrong.
don't stand out much.
No, they don't.
They're-
I actually kind of.
They're kind of generic.
Yeah, a little
Oh,
bit.
except for that one that's in the first half. That's very, very Flight of the Conchords,
Oh my
Lonely
God.
Island-esque.
Oh god,
It's
this is
creepy as all hell.
this
but
is
it's,
when
it's very
he's
over the
at
top
the
and
camp.
funny.
when he's pretending to romance the professor.
Yes.
Right.
So he does it in this
in the disco
weird-
suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh, gosh.
like
It's
like
really funny.
like Steve Martin, wild and crazy guys kind of thing going on there.
There's a full costume change. He dances some. There's a lot of like dancing sporadically throughout. It's actually very funny. It's one of the things that happens in this film that actually genuinely got me to
yeah,
laugh.
yeah.
Yeah, that and her dying were just the funniest
Yeah.
Her
fucking
dying.
things.
This
And
is one of
him
the
running.
only things that was supposed to
And
get me
we
to
will
laugh that
get
got me to
to-
laugh.
The other funniest moment.
Oh yeah,
eventually.
yeah.
Oh my god, are you talking about the love?
No,
Smoke.
no.
Oh,
No,
Jesus,
we'll get there.
What are you talking about?
Okay, anyway, so
Love scene.
I said smoke, not
We get
scene.
a
Okay.
photo. You know, they talk about how he has a wall picture in his wallet,
Oh, yeah.
anyway,
and
so
then a rap song.
oh yeah, because Surviving Girlfriend and Human was so
Cow.
Earth was so cow.
Ow.
Fuck.
So they are going to try to rescue the god who has
Buffalo.
been
Oh.
well
Oh.
to rescue the god because Surviving Girlfriend assumes that Wiseau is dead.
Right.
Which would be so nice.
Yeah.
Would be. It
So
would tie up a lot of things.
So they go on an adventure, and there's like a raft love song, and so
Oh fuck, there is.
eventually they get there, right?
Well, they get there. He tells her to wait. He's gonna go scout it out. Because I guess that town does bad things to women.
Okay, so,
So
does
he
that
goes
happen?
but as he's going in,
Oh, right.
Buffalo's coming out.
With the goddess.
Oh yeah, because of the love
Well, no,
spell.
not
Loves
without,
the love
not
thing.
with the goddess. He's being escorted, and he's about to be executed again.
Oh, so they try to save him, and he kills all the people trying to execute him.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
and
he's
then
like-
he's like, "What the hell are you doing here?" He's like, "Rescuing you," and he's like,
It's
"I don't
you
need
almost
you."
ruined it.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, we're gonna rescue Mother, then bye.
Yeah.
Then,
Unless your wife thinks you're dead, but she's here now, so,
She came to rescue you guys, and then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go get Mother. You wait here. I'll be back in like 5 minutes."
So he goes there, and there's this weird, multicolored smoke in the air.
It's everywhere.
And
Oh my
after a little
God.
while of people laughing and talking about their personal lives, I say, halfway joking, so they're on something, right?
well,
Or
they're on
something like, what are they
yeah,
on?
yeah. Well, what the hell are they on? I believe is what you said.
Yeah, and they're on love.
They're on love because of Mother.
Yeah, but see,
She could
Mother
have done this before.
is using... Yeah, but she didn't want to because
She
she
didn't
didn't
give a fuck.
care. So she's got this
Or she
weird
never saw love before.
love for everybody, I guess. She put out love that everybody's breathing in, and now they all like each other and they're being friendly and talking about their families. So it's very easy for Tommy Wiseau to sneak in and get her out of the castle.
Yes.
Yep.
So after that has happened,
They get on a chariot and get the fuck out.
okay.
Did, yeah.
But Demon's behind them with his posse.
Oh yeah, so Demon, this character has
Christopher Lee.
shown up. He looks a little Christopher Lee,
Yeah.
and he's carrying a chuggo staff.
Oh my god, I
Which is
fucking
one of
forgot
those
about that. How did I
one
forget
of those
about that?
plastic staffs you
my
get at the
God.
Halloween store with a skull for a head,
Yep.
but his has spikes in it,
Yep.
so it looks like Chuggo has dreads. I mentioned Chuggo because there is a Canadian rapper who did a song a while back called "Come On Fuck a Guy,"
Go listen to it.
where he's holding one of those skull staffs the whole way through.
No, sometimes he hands it off to strippers.
Sometimes, but yeah, he says things like,
Aw. Come on, fuck a guy.
yeah, and I put mayonnaise on everything, that's how I eat.
Alright, we don't want to get copyright struck.
That's true, I figure that's enough. So,
To be fair, I did just say like 3/4 of the song.
ah,
Oh, shit.
come on, fuck a guy. So, It was kind of a meme for a while, a few years back. There were like covers of it. It was a whole thing. Like the comments under his video for the longest time would be somebody saying something and then just interrupting it with, "Ah, come on, fuck a guy." It was great. So,
Whatever.
Chuggo staff. Anyway, the chase is happening.
Cow falls off the thing, right?
Yes.
And they just
Right.
leave him.
Cow gets hit by a branch like an idiot
Yeah.
and then
Oh yeah,
falls.
they just leave him.
But then,
Well,
They start to just leave him.
surviving
Or no.
girlfriend is like, fuck that, we're not leaving him.
survivor's guilt.
So she
Probably.
turns the chariot around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where like they almost do like a discounted Kamen Rider fight. Where
Yeah,
they have
they're-
foreground background
yeah,
fight for a little
yeah.
bit, and it's decent.
Yeah.
And there's a dude who's doing a bunch of flips, and then he gets his head crushed by a giant hammer.
Yes, he does. Oh god, because Tommy Wiseau has a giant
Meat tenderizer.
tenderizer, and it is so good.
Yeah, he actually brutally murders a lot of people with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the guy who's doing all the fancy shit. Tommy Wiseau's just like, fuck you, punch, and
Yeah, just boom. So eventually they get away on a raft again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And the
And what
demon's
happens on
army
the
is like
raft?
throwing weapons at them.
So Demon takes his fucking Chuggo staff and chucks it. It's a Chucko staff now.
Damn it, you took it from me.
and Mother, who is also
Okay,
God.
okay, let's set this up because it's Mother's here, right? Mother's here, and then there's
Cow, then
No.
surviving girlfriend, and then
Cow and,
And
then
yeah,
Buffalo.
Buffalo in
And
the
then-
back. Who's
Buffalo.
paddling with his hammer.
Yes.
yeah. So the staff is coming straight for surviving girlfriend.
Right.
So what Mother does is she grabs
Cow.
and pulls him in front of it.
Yeah.
He
And
gets hit and she drops him in the water and
Yeah.
smiles.
And so Tommy Wiseau, Buffalo, is like, should I go get him? And Mom's like, nah, it's okay. And so we get the scene of the
opening
Earth
scene.
hero
Yes.
drowning and
his own blood.
He's the
smiling.
worst at drowning, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
He can't
Yeah.
close his
My
eyes at the
guess is he
same
was
time.
just glad to be joining his girlfriend in paradise or something.
Well,
Well, that's
quite
what
do
he,
that.
well, in a weird way, but anyway, but yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like he mentioned briefly, when he
Ugh,
dies, he closes one eye and then the other. It's,
And it's-
so awkward.
It's awful.
So now
She brings him to a new planet to die to save himself.
yeah, so now like he's basically acted as the matchmaker for
Himself?
Otherworld him and Otherworld his would have been fiance
After his would have been fiance died
Right.
in
for
the
no reason.
dumbest way.
and then he gets used as a sacrifice for himself.
Mhm.
Yes.
But he's not dead.
No.
No, he's in the ocean
So he washes up on a shore
with these
covered
weird
in
little reptile
in
things running
lizards.
around.
things and there's like a sandstorm.
And everything's really purple.
Yeah.
It really is.
There's
So
these little huts everywhere with
and
these
there's
crazy
people
doors.
riding around on
People
velociraptors.
might be
Yes.
monkeys, I can't tell.
So he knocks on the first door he comes to. The door opens.
And you're like, oh, what's it
inside-
gonna be, her?
And it's totally her in like this weird, goofy sci-fi outfit.
And she's like, you're ugly as hell. Why am I not scared of you?
Yeah.
and he's
Are you married?
yeah.
Like, do I look married? And he looks genuinely confused. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard
I
to
also
tell.
don't know.
And then that's the end of the movie. I think
Yeah,
that's like the
kind
last
of.
line is like, "Do I look married?" And then you like, I almost feel like the Full House end credits should like.
God.
Anyway, so I really wanted to like this movie. And there are so many moments
Us?
in the movie when I was back at I really want to like this movie because this part,
But an hour and a half of stalking.
yeah,
Too
Oh.
much stalking.
It was like 2 hours.
Dual
of stalking.
planet stalking.
yeah, and like not only stalking but like harassment and assault,
Yeah.
and you just, and
Yeah.
then they ask us to care about these characters.
Yeah.
And then they die horribly. It's funny as fuck.
Yeah. But it's like the movie kind of shot itself in the foot in terms of caring about
Yeah.
these characters. When I was like, well, here's a gnat, have
It
fun
shot
raping her.
itself for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It repeatedly
And then
shot
it
itself
like
in the foot.
crawled out for a little bit, and then went back to shooting itself.
Yeah.
And then it
And
just
then it threw a
tried.
mace at its back.
And then it tried to do a little dance for a little while, and we're like, it's an okay little dance, but I can't ignore the bleeding.
And now it's dancing in space, and you're just
I can't-
confused.
I can't help to think you'd do this dance better if you hadn't have shot yourself in the foot earlier. Maybe if we cared about those characters.
I cared about them dying a lot.
Yeah, that
We
was
all did.
Way
that was
fun to
alright.
watch them die. I wish that more of them had died.
I swear to God, that bit where she's just running away, haha, I love you, thwunk, dead. It's just so perfect. I know it makes me a bad person, but come on.
It was really
That was
funny.
so good.
It was the best part of the movie. And then the whole thing with Mother, just, fuck you. Get in the ocean.
Can we
Mother's
talk
the best
about?
character.
I was gonna say, can we talk about how everybody in charge in the other world was honkies?
Yeah, that was a little
Yeah,
weird,
that was,
right? Mother, the god of this other world, was white.
Uh-huh.
The
Like, as
king
white as
Trashy
possible.
Majesty.
was white.
Mhm.
Yeah, they called him Trashy Majesty in one scene, and I really liked that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Demon.
And Demon,
was Demon white?
Demon
I
didn't
think
look
so.
He was
completely
whiter.
white.
He could have
was
been one of the others.
light-skinned. I
Is-
don't think he was white.
It's the kind of person who could go either way. You're not sure.
Racially ambiguous.
Yeah, he's kind of a Ben Kingsley vibe going on there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like you could cast him in either direction.
Also, I know we kind of mentioned it, but the soundtrack to this came out of, what, RPG Maker?
Especially
Oh, yeah.
at the very end where it becomes, what was that? It was like Italian.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like life
somebody
is
had,
beautiful.
Like, a concertina and was like
Yeah.
going at it.
Yeah. It was very Roberto Benigni, you know.
Some.
So anyway, that was terrible.
It was a bad movie.
It was a fucking bad movie.
that I really, really was so disappointed in because it could have been a very entertaining bad movie, but it really wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of imagination on display.
It's ambitious.
There's talent in certain departments in the film.
There's a fucking manicore.
yeah.
There is.
There are good actors shoved in there here and there that are, they don't do anything with them.
Yeah.
But it's a stocky clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding, it breaks time.
Yeah.
I don't...
If it had developed the romance of either of these pairs
Well, that's the thing.
better
it kind
at
of,
all,
like,
it would
better,
have been
yes.
so much
but-
so much more watchable if I had cared about these relationships in the slightest.
I don't know, because
Or-
then we would have lost the funniest part of the movie.
Yeah, honestly, if I cared about the characters, that moment would have pissed me off.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been funny. I would have just been like, why would you do that?
Yeah. I don't know, maybe if you just cut out all the stocky shit, take
Start-
it down to
Start
like
watching after the interval.
2 minutes of stuff of, hey, I want to marry you, but I can't, but can I marry you? No, I can't. Okay. Thwunk. Dead.
And now he's in space.
Yeah.
And then continue on with the third planet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to check out more stuff by this director because I think there's potential there, but I'm not gonna make you guys sit through that.
Thanks.
At
Okay.
least not until I find one that I like.
All right.
Okay.
Because I really think this guy can do something I'm gonna love.
It's
just
possible.
This was not it.
No. No, it missed the mark for about an hour and 40 minutes.
Kinda.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's sad if the biggest mark-hitting moment is not on
Weird,
purpose.
pointless tragedy that ends up being funny.
Yep.
And just wrong.
A little. Yeah.
So wrong.
That sums
That
it up.
so.
Yeah. It's 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Shit, I gotta go to Jersey early in the morning tomorrow.
I
Shit.
have to walk a dog in 12 hours.